Hey guys, Neptune here, and today we have a very important topic for discussion. Not long ago, IGN Japan posted an interview with Miyazaki-san, where he explicitly stated that the arena in the upcoming Dark Souls 3 DLC will be more like Dark Souls 1 arena, implying that the main source of inspiration for it is Dark Souls 1 arena and not Dark Souls 2 arena. Is it a good sign or is it a bad sign? Well, let's look into it, but before we jump to conclusions, let's understand what Miyazaki-san actually implied when stating that, and what each type of arena can offer. First of all, I think it is reasonable to assume that when Miyazaki-san mentioned Dark Souls 1 arena, he implied the rule set of arena, and not certain gimmicks that are obviously not related to the core concept of the arena itself. My assumption is that Dark Souls 3 will feature Dark Souls 1 arena rule set, but not much else from Dark Souls 1 arena, keeping the innovations of Dark Souls 3 intact. With that in mind, let's inspect both arenas to see what's all the fuss about, starting with Dark Souls 1 arena. Well, to be honest, the arena in Dark Souls 1 is a failure. It's a total disaster. Yet I've spent a lot of hours enjoying it, and it's the most fun I've ever had in Dark Souls 1. So what exactly made it a failure, you may ask? And the answer is everything that is not related to its rule set, because it's the rule set that I have enjoyed the most. The arena in Dark Souls 1 offers amazing free-for-all experience and team deathmatch that are so much fun that we used to hang there with friends instead of hosting regular fight clubs, and would spend hours chain backstabbing each other and having a good laugh about it. Not to mention the amazing dual game mod that we will cover a bit later. But for now, let's look into what made Arena terrible, starting with leaderboard. You'd think it would track the amount of wins you get, show your win rate and other good stuff. No, it tracks the streaks you have. The longer you go undefeated, the higher you go. Lose once, there goes your spot. This system makes no sense. Instead of implementing proper ladder, leaderboard showcases how many wins you got in a row. What? That makes no sense. Then we move on to rewards, and there are no rewards. There is nothing you get for winning. You get nothing for being a king of arena, and since leaderboard tracks the streaks and not win rate, you can have the best win-loss ratio in the world and nobody will ever know about it. Your reward for that? Nothing. This is very bad. But then there's this. This is the most genius game design decision I have ever seen in my life. You'd think that accessing one of the two arenas from here will start the matchmaking process and pair you with someone. Wrong. It sends you into this peculiar place in time and space where you have two cages. One for the host and one for the client. You step into the host one and wait for your client. But what happens if two of you stand in the host cage? The answer is nothing. You will never ever get matched. This is how terrible this system is, because there is no way you're gonna get matched against a random player, because there's simply no way you're gonna coordinate it. You never know where the other player is, whether he is in the host cage or the client cage. This is why the arena is so unpopular, because it's almost impossible to get a match against a random player. So you may ask, why exactly do I like the arena in Dark Souls 1? And the answer is rule set. In Dark Souls 1, as soon as you get matched with someone, the clock starts ticking. You get 3 minutes against your opponent with no rules whatsoever. Yes, the match does not end with a kill, it ends when the time runs out. This means that if you kill your opponent, he will respawn, but you will keep your current health. How does it sound to you? Because it plays amazing. It gives it so much depth, it allows for sick comebacks, give you so many options and strategies to pick. Do you want to play passive and burn some time when the match is in your favor? Or do you want to give your low health away and force the trade only to come back later with full health and capitalize on it? Do you want to play aggressive while your buff is active? Or do you want to use the moment your opponent respawns to keep the buffs running? Dual rule set in Dark Souls 1 Arena has so much depth to it, it blows regular duels away, because it is essentially a best of X match, where X totally depends on your playstyle, strategy and opposition. It offers no rules, hence no limits. It's awesome! Now, what about Dark Souls 2 Arena? It's amazing as well. You get comprehensive rewards, a cool red aura to show off who's the boss, and sublime matchmaking that doesn't take 50 cages and 10 days to match you against someone. As soon as you press go button, you're ready to fight. But what about rule set? First thing to note, the Dark Souls 2 Arena offers only 1v1 matches, and the match ends with the first kill. Meaning that if you want to come back, you have to pull some serious verbal judo, otherwise it's one and done. This obviously limits the depth of arena as it favors more puck style kind of plays. It is also not much different when compared to regular duels, since both end after one kill, but at least in case with the regular duels, you can set your own custom rules. So there you have it, two arenas completely different in nature. Both are great as arenas, but Dark Souls 1 Arena obviously has a bad reputation because of the connectivity issues and stupid game design choices, despite having arguably superior rule set. I feel like people really underestimate how cool Dark Souls 1 Arena is. I can't blame them, because with those shitty connectivity issues, they never really got a chance to play it. But thanks to me, all of you now have an idea of what Dark Souls 1 Arena is and what Dark Souls 2 Arena is. Now, which one do you prefer? And I'm talking especially about rule set. What do you like more? Best of one with limited rules, or best of anything with a time limit allowing you sick comebacks and more strategical input? Please make yourself vocal in the comments and let's get discussion going. As for me, I prefer the Dark Souls 1 Arena and its rule set, and chances are I'm gonna get exactly what I want. We'll just have to wait a bit and see, because Namco did promise a PvP Arena trailer later this week, which makes me excited. Now, something not related to the topic of the video, something a bit different. I'm usually pretty humble about it, and I appreciate all the support I get, thank you guys. I have decided to get a Patreon page, and even though I doubt that some of you are that bad with the money, I still felt like it's worth giving it a mention. So if you want to support me even more, there's a link in the description of this video, and it's on my channel page as well. That's about it, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.